All right. Here to talk about the favorite subject of everyone, so observability. So we started a new observability platform for Metacore about 2 years ago, and we have 11 clusters that are sending metrics to our Grafana stack. So we have Mimir for metrics, we have Loki for the logs, and we have Tempo for traces. For the sending part, we are using Prometheus for metrics, and for logs and traces, we are using Opentelemetry Collector. So now that it's been proven to be useful, I'll share a few nuggets. So something really important is that we have a way to iterate changes fast. So have a development environment for your monitoring cluster and descending clusters, and have a way where you can iterate the changes manually and fast. So just like kubectl apply and stuff like that, because it makes your life as a maintainer so much easier. And consider using Opentelemetry Collector instead of any of the vendor-specific tools, because it consolidates everything that you can do in the observability landscape into a single tool, so it makes things more consolidated. And it can do pretty much everything. And the negatives is that because it can do everything, it's really complex. And when you want to configure it, it lacks documentation quite bad. So learn to debug it. And if you learn it, then it will save you time and your sanity, speaking from experience. So on the log side, plan out your labels before you even start to implement, because too many labels and you're going to have performance issues, too few labels and you're going to have filtering issues. So for example, we came up with this initial list of labels, just cluster, env, team, app, namespace, container, tenant, and level. And self-hosting is complex, but it's also rewarding. So have a concrete plan before you proceed, and figure out already how are you going to route your alerts. For example, we opted for team label based alerting by using Slack channels. And you will get weird errors about hitting limits in, let's say, Loki. And no amount of Googling will tell you what is the correct answer here. You're just going to have to guess it. Quite many vendors have that you can't push anything more than 1 MB of logs, but with self-hosting, you can. Should you? I don't know. So if you do it right, the platform is very hands-free and maintenance-free. And from early on, limit what goes in and act fast. Understand the default limits of your system and alert on high log volumes, and negotiate with your developers that if they are breaking your limits, that why are they doing it, and please don't do it, and if it makes sense, then change your limits. And implement distributed tracing ASAP. Because your developers will always blame the platform. It's never their application. But if you can prove that the traffic hits the NLB and the trace starts there, then you can already show that it is reaching the cluster. Your application is the problem, maybe. And since it's a platform, keep self-service at the center of everything. So if developers want alerts, implement a way to give them a way to implement those. Tracing, same thing. We can have multiple opinions if you should do auto-instrumentation. In my opinion, no. But give them some endpoints at least. anti-metrics, give them how they can use service monitors or anything. Thank you.